I'm Charlotte, and I'm from Swindon College. I did the Brief C, which was the point of sale media unit. I called it the Film Tower because it's for a cinema, and it's an island display, and it's got four separate films on each side. I decided to do this because going into the cinemas, there's a lot of displays about that tend to relate to just one film, and they use a lot of material, and it's a lot of waste because they're only used for a certain amount of time and thrown away. So this one, it would last a few more months, and it can be progressed as well. It would stand 7 foot tall, so it can be seen over the top of people's heads in a crowd, in a busy cinema, and even in a shop, to advertise DVDs and future releases. The square base makes it take up less floor room, and the construction of this display is in 3 parts. So there's a pyramid base, which I'll just show you there, and then this part's the pillar, and that can be featuring all the kind of poster details, and then the top can be dedicated to the film title and dates. It's easy to construct, and it's easily disassembled because it pretty much just connects all until one. So I'll just take so it all connects. It was designed for the purpose of saving corrugated material, as advertising for films prevents the need for making more separate displays. The display design can be progressed into advertising not just 4 displays, but 8. So on the other side, it's possible, but it could be printed on the other side. I couldn't do it because of the materials I was using, and as you can see, all the kind of details are kind of coming off. But it is possible that it could be displayed on the other side with 4 more films, so it would last even longer. And save on expense. How I researched it was I researched the recycling, and I looked at other displays that are on the market, and most of them just simple flat displays. So it would be easier to have one that's an island display, or get more notice and more, as people coming in and out of the cinemas, they'll be able to see all the way around it, and it'll be easier advertising, easier for them to notice. And then I looked at all the different kinds of designs, and at first I had one where it could go all the way around just like a cylinder, but that wouldn't work so well. So I thought the film tower, at least there's more to it than just simple, just up and down, or just using a cylinder or anything, just simple. The original idea was to have characters put into it, but that would use more materials up, and that wasn't necessary. So I progressed it into what you see on the leaflets, which is just how it's all constructed together. And originally it was going to have 2 films on it, but then I came up with the 4 idea, so again I'm going to use less materials, and if there's 8 on the other side, it'll be less.
30 seconds.
Okay, it could be used for a shop as well. I've made it mainly for the cinemas because I thought that needed the most work. I work at Blockbuster, so it does actually help knowing how to construct them. And a lot of people forget that normal people that work in them, like me, I need to be able to easily put them together, and some of them are so complicated, they have hooks on them and all this, trying to construct them is really difficult. So it's easier to have a separate display that's just, you know, that's the base, that's the part that's there, and it's easier to put it all together. And plus, because it's cheaper and everything, for people like businesses like Blockbuster, or even in supermarkets and cinemas, it'd be easier for them to be able to afford something, even small cinemas as well. Like, they might not have as much room to put all these big displays for like bigger films like New Moon or Up, and advertise 3D, for example, because that's the next big thing. So it's easier for them to be able to put it together and not have to worry about putting all the big displays with all the 3D pieces on.
Okay, Charlotte, thank you very much indeed. Okay, judges.
Hi Charlotte, I'm Peter from the Smith Battalion. Thank you very much for picking our brief. Why did you pick it? Corrugated board is such a sexy material. I'm quite interested why you chose that brief.
I was looking forward to doing this one because knowing how to make them all and everything, it was easy for me to go to work at a Blockbuster and see how they're constructed, so I could get that kind of research and think, how could I improve it? And especially I go to the cinema like once a week as well, so I'd like to see the new film releases and know what's out, especially if a film is quite popular, like New Moon or anything like Up, because it's 3D. They're usually needing like a lot of advertising, and it's easier for me to just walk into a cinema and see them, and it'll be easy for everybody else too if they're a fan of anything. They can just see it and see it with people's heads as well if it's busy in the crowd.
Thank you.
Charlotte, congratulations on making a basic brown box look sexy. Clearly given a great deal of thought to the design. Obviously working with Blockbuster helps. How about the cost of preparing it? Is it something that can be used in a small cinema?
I think so. The small cinemas, they obviously have to get certain displays in, and it does cost a lot to get them in and have all these films advertised. So it's easier for them, especially with smaller cinemas, they have like a smaller range of films. So if there's one that has 4 films on each side, or even 8, if it could be progressing to being something reversible, and it can last longer, and it will save on costs, so they can just buy one display.
I just wondered if there was another route that you may have considered where instead of using the reverse of it, you made the front of it customisable, so you would have interchangeable panels that you could swap out as a new movie launched. You'd rip one off and replace it with another one, maybe using something like Magnetic Inks or
I did actually think of that because some of the films that you see, they've been out a long time, and they tend to kind of still have the advertising up while it's in the cinema, and it's better to have it just changed rather than always be the same, because the advertising's still up there, and people, if they've already seen it, they like to come out of the cinema and think of the film differently if they've seen it. So I did consider that, putting different kind of characters on it or something, but there'll be 2 like 3D, and I wanted to keep it more plain because it'd be simple to put together, and it'd be easier for them to see another film and see another advertisement rather than concentrating on the one.
Okay, judges, I'm going to have to call a halt there. Charlotte, thank you very much indeed.